morning, Dr. Umar.
Brother Johnny, good morning. Brooklyn. Good morning to Brooklyn. What's your question, good brother?
I feel like, I've been watching you for a very long time, and everything you say about special ed, the educational system, mental health, when it comes to black youth, black men, I feel like I'm a victim of it. I'm 29 years old. I got an 11-year-old son, and it's like a repetitive thing. Like, it's generational, though, because my mom and my dad really wasn't, effective in my life. I was raised by my grandparents, and my son's mom and grandmother are, very combative with me when it comes to me trying to be a dad, knowing that my dad wasn't in my life. You feel me? So my grandparents took the advice of the educational system and put me on meds and put me in special ed and do all this other stuff, have me in programs, treatments, and it really didn't do nothing for me. So when I turned 18, I signed out the program. So basically my thing right now is I'm just calling because I need advice. I really don't want to sign my rights over for my son, but I tried to be the best dad that I know that I could be at the moment. And, it's like, it's basically fighting with me mentally to just try and be like, all right, I tried. I've been to jail for asking to see my kid. I've been to jail for taking clothes to my baby mom's house. I've been to jail for, and I'm not gonna say it's just them, but verbally, I'm very bad with my words when I get angry. So it's like I try to not project that towards my kid in front of him, but they try to use that against me. So basically, I need advice. As a black man,
question. I got a question for you. And I hate family court. I hate it with a passion because there's nothing worse than black people going right back to the white folks after slavery and asking them to settle disputes between a black man and a black woman over a black child. Family court is nothing but a form of slavery. Now, with that being said, though, if you cannot come to an amicable agreement with your son's mother and grandmother, you may have to put a petition into family court, my brother. So you get shared legal custody. So you guys have to make all medical and educational decisions together. Shared legal, that's one. And number two, shared physical custody to make sure you get to see your son as often as you would like to. Because if it's not working with her.
I did that. My son was born in 2011. 2012, I was 18. I went to family court in Brooklyn and signed a petition for visitation rights and part custody.
So you get
to see him.
Okay, do you get time with him?
Nah, my baby mother stops that. She gets me locked up and gets all types of reports and stuff on me that's nonsense.
But
don't come to court. Stops me from reaching my goals. Like I was saying in 2012, I was going to school to be an EMT, and I went to court just for visitation rights, and they said they needed child support, and she agreed to it.
Okay, so you paying your child support, right?
So, and at that time, I wasn't financially stable. I was going to school to be an EMT, so I would have got a certification to finish my EMT courses, and then I'll get a job with that.
Right. So here's what I'm not understanding, my brother. If she don't let you see your child, first of all, do you have a designated time on paper from the court for when you're supposed to get your child, or do you only have visitation where you go to her house to see?
I have nothing, Dr. Umar, and all they're asking me for, they're sending mail to my house for child support. And I've been trying to communicate with family members of hers, and it's just it's draining.
Okay.
I'm not a messed up individual because, like I said, I've been through it. So I don't want to do it to my own kid, but it's like, I don't want to go to the court system. I've been through the whole system. Like,
But here's the thing, my brother, listen to me. You're already in the system because she got you in for child support. So you're already in the system. You need to go and petition the court for partial custody of your son. You feel me? You're going to have to do that, my brother. Stop trying to make a way with her if she's not trying to make a way with you. I mean, I think we should try to work with the mothers of our children. But if she's made up her mind to be disagreeable with you, if she's made up her mind to be disagreeable with you, then you have to accept what is in front of you. Hopefully she'll change as she gets older. You have to accept what's in front of you, go to court, and put in a petition for partial physical custody and shared legal custody. Stop playing around with this, and I'm going to tell you why. Your son is 11. If the schools tries to special educate him, if they try to medicate him, you don't have any say-so in what his mother decides to let the school do with your son educationally or medically. You need shared legal right now because he's at that age where they're going to start criminalizing him, possibly. Hopefully they never do, but it's likely. And you need to be able to show up at that school with a copy of the judge's order of shared educational and medical decisions, legal custody, and give a copy to the school and tell them y'all can't make decisions without both of us being present. And I want to know about every meeting that's held about my son. You got to get that because it sounds like, you know, what a lot of black women do. I went through it myself, my brother. I went through it myself. OK, well, my daughter's mother did the same thing. They try to keep you out of the child's life for whatever reason. In my case, she wanted to get married. I didn't marry her, so she kept me out of my child's life. It's what they do. And I had legal shared custody on paper, but the courts didn't reinforce it. They never punished her when she didn't produce the child, you see. So I understand that you can get shared legal custody and they still not guarantee you time with your child. But you still need to have it on paper to prove you fought for your child, because your child is going to one day ask you, did you fight for me? And you need to pull out the paper.
Can I speak on that? I'm sorry to cut you off.
But I'm not done. Hold on. But the other thing, too, is you need that shared legal, my brother. So if the school starts trying to screw your son over, you can stop them from making decisions without you being present. You just can't keep sitting letting the clock tick because he's a black boy. You understand? So we got to make sure you have legal say-so over the decisions made for him. Continue.
All right. So, like I said, my parents, it's like a repetitive thing for me to see and go through because my parents did the same thing. Like my mom raised me telling me that my dad wasn't a good man and whatever the case may be. So,
and that's why you can't disappear. And that's exactly why.
She basically put a perception in my mind that, you know, my dad wasn't the guy in my life, or whatever the case may be. And as I got older and I lived with my mom and I started to see the things that she did and how she lived life, and I realized that my dad just took a way out. I mean, it wasn't right, but at the same time, I don't know where he would be and what type of messed up lifestyle he would be in if he didn't sign his rights over for me. So that's why I'm saying, like, I don't want to be.
Do not sign your rights away to your son, brother. He will hate you. And as a man, you can't do that. All you have to do is go to court and fight for your son. Even if, because don't get me wrong, brother, you can get.
I hated my dad. That's what I'm saying. I hated my dad until I had a conversation with him. And his conversation was more of it wasn't about fighting a court system. It was about fighting a court system and a whole family.
I understand that, but you keep.
You know what I mean? Like,
right, but.
At the end of the day, I mean, yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Well, first of all, you just gave every reason why you must fight for your son. But what I'm telling you, as someone who deals with black boys on a regular basis, and I'm hearing you, brother, and I'm sorry you got to go through that. I'm sorry you got to go through that. But this is why we as black men have to make better decisions with the women we choose to get involved in. Because there's a lot of women out here, they are abused, they've been wounded, they have not been healed. They're looking for men to solve all their problems for them. They want no responsibility for their unhappiness. And if you do not show up like a knight in shining armor, offering them a solution for all their problems, they will try to destroy you for not solving their emotional wounds. You see, so we have to do a better job of choosing the women that we decide to come into our life, because there's a lot of good women out here. There's a lot of good women, but there's a lot of bad ones too. There's a lot of wounded souls. There's a lot of wounded black men walking around. There's a lot of wounded black women, because this is not just a black women thing. This is not just a black men are also just as toxic and just as destructive and just as neglectful of the best interests of our children as are the women. I see it both ways, and I've been involved in situations on both sides. As a therapist, as an educator, school, I've seen it. So men and women can be toxic when it comes to co-parenting the child. But what I'm saying to you, my good brother, is it sounds like you still want a relationship with your son's mother. Now, I want you to be honest with me. I want you to be honest with me.
I want a relationship with my son, but I don't want to be like that. I don't want to curb. I don't want to be fucked up, basically. Like,
I understand that, but
now, mentally, I tried it, bro. She locked me up for no reason, and I went back and had to, if I wanted to see my kid.
Why did you get locked up? Why did you get locked up? Tell me what happened. They put handcuffs on you specifically for doing what?
All right, so basically, me and my mans used to live across the street from my baby moms, and I used to like try to see her and interact with her. Like you said, don't try to push that onto her, but if she's not ready. So I'm not a court going person. Like, I'm a street nigga. Sorry to say it like that. I'm a street nigga. Like, I work now, but back then I was in the street. So it wasn't a given that I'm going to court for my kids, for myself, nothing. So I was trying to communicate with her. Basically, she called the police and told them that I had a knife and said I was going to kill her and all this other stuff when I had drugs on me. So when the police pulled me over, I got locked up for drugs and assault against my baby moms. That never happened. When I asked, just could I talk to you from across the street? Like, so, but my thing is, she told me when I came home, yo, if you want to see your son, you have to come sit in my house. I did that by all means.
Okay, I did it. Okay, I understand that. I did it too, okay? I went and used to go sit.
I don't think you wanted to be with your baby mom, no. I think it was more of your kid, less than your baby mom.
I agree, but the difference, right? But the difference, though, between me and you is that it seems like you still want this confrontation with the mother when you can just deal with the.
I get it. Nah, listen, Dr. Umar, I understand totally what you're saying. I don't want no type of confrontation. My son is 11. He's able to talk and communicate with me and you in two different conversations. I don't need you. What I need is your acceptance, because your family is not going to do that. So, okay, cool. You're not going to give me it. I'll go to court. But if I'm going to court and they're taking pay, like I haven't seen my kid like in maybe 4 years, 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, but it's a whole bunch of pain and turmoil that she did to me and put me through that. It wouldn't just be able to put on the phone. But my thing is, I just don't want to be the fucked up dad. Like, because I felt like my dad was fucked up, but in all reality, he had to think about himself. You feel me? So I want to do the same, knowing that the right way of life is to take care of my child and support my child and do what I can. But when I did it and I tried to make it work at a certain length and at my willpower, it didn't work for you. So now that I'm at a point in space where it's like, fuck y'all, fuck you, fuck the kid. Like, that's just.
Oh man, don't say F your kid, mom. No, brother. No. You can't say F your kid. He innocent, brother. He didn't ask to be in this world. Your son didn't ask to be in this world.
She put him on the phone and asked me to act. She asked my son to ask me, why do I disrespect his mother? And if I don't respect her, she's not gonna. If I don't respect her, he's not gonna respect me. At 10 years old,
he shouldn't be involved in that. She had no right to put him on the phone.
His mindset is infiltrated like mine was.
He's a child, my brother.
To get over that.
Okay, listen. I hope, my brother, and I hope your ancestors.
I'm sorry.
No, I hear you, and I appreciate you being honest, my brother. You cannot give up on your son. You cannot walk out on your son. You cannot be angry at your son. His mother is using him. His mother is manipulating him, but he's a boy. You can get him back. That means nothing. That means nothing. The bottom line, here's what you got going for you. Here's what you got going for you. He's a boy, a male child, right? The courts tend to be a little bit more lenient with fathers when it is a male child because they see what goes on with young black men in these streets. I have 2 daughters. I don't have a son. You understand? You have a son. So you have to make the case that I don't want my son to make some of the mistakes that I made. I need to be involved. But my issue with you, my brother, you have not petitioned the court for any kind of physical custody yet. Listen, what I need you to understand, I don't care if you say you can only spend a day with your son. I don't care if you pick him up Sunday at noon and return him Monday at noon, or pick him up Friday at 5 and return him Saturday at 5. It's not the quantity of the time. It's the quality that you spend with him during that time. And I tell fathers and non-custodial parents this all the time. I get fathers say, Dr. Umar, I work, I drive trucks. I can only spend 1 day a week with him. That's not a problem. As long as you are consistent with your 1 day a week, the child needs quality of time, not quantity of time. A father who spends 1 day with his child, 1 day, is doing a better job than a father who has the child 4 days and never spends any time with the kid, don't focus on the kid, dropping him off with his grandmom, dropping him off with his aunt, taking him while he's running errands. The kid who got 1 day had a better experience with his father than the kid who had 4 days because the father was too busy to focus on the kid. You need to go to the court. You keep on messing with that woman, trying to get her to work with you. It's not going to happen, brother. Okay, it's not going to happen. Some women, it's who they are. They've been raised by their mothers to disrespect black men and to be disagreeable with black men. And it sounds like you accidentally ran into that type of women. Every black woman ain't like that, but that's the one you got. So you got to make sure you don't repeat the situation. You got to make sure you don't repeat the situation. But with your son being 11, bro, you can't afford to turn your back. You got the rainbow community out here. They out here giving our boys hormones.
That right there, that issue with him is crazy.
So you need to go to court, my brother. We can talk some more later if you want to hit me up later, but you got to go to court and petition for shared legal and partial physical custody, my brother. That's what you got to do.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Umar. And I'm definitely trying to come to your school and see it out. And, you know, I really listen to you every day, man.
Yes, sir. I'll be in Long Island on April 16th if you want to come through the Roosevelt Public Library, free event in Long Island, New York, April the 16th, 2 to 6. Yeah.
All right, cool. No problem. I'll try to make it, man. Thank you. I appreciate you so much, and I'm going to definitely be at court on Monday, man.
Yes, sir, man. Do that, man. Don't trust me. You can't do that to your son, bro. We fight for that boy, man. He needs you. He in a house full of toxic women, it sounds like. Fight for your son.
Yeah, man. All right, man. Thank you, man.
Okay, bro.